the cock doth crow. Now it's time to make some dough on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Hello there, Jeff. Morning has broken. Hello there. Welcome. Nice to have you here. You're very kind. Gene Wood, thank you, sir. And thanks to Lyle B. McGlynn of Fort Pierce, Florida, for that opening poem, watching us on WPTV Channel 5. Thank you, Lyle. Now let's get to the cards. Janice and hello there, Autumn, filling in for Lois. Nice to have you here. They're loading the cards. We'll meet our card sharks. Deanna Buckman.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm just fine.
Won't you again tell us something about yourself?
My name is Deanna Barkman, and I'm a mover. My husband and I have lived all over the United States. We have 2 sons. We have been married 12 years, and we've moved 14 times. And our last move was from Iran to Thousand Oaks, California.
Well, you really have moved. What's the favorite place you've lived?
California is my favorite place. I love it out here.
Oh, we're delighted to hear that. And we're also delighted to say that Deanna has won $2,200 in cash. Thanks to have you back. We're meeting our challenger for the first time, Susie Bohannon. Hi, Susie. Welcome.
Hi, Jim.
Won't you tell us something about yourself?
Well, my name's Susie Bohannon. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, originally from Covina, California. I'm a housewife, a mommy of a beautiful 15-and-a-half-month-old son. I'm going to be one again in Thanksgiving. I'm a retired dancer, obviously, and a retired junket secretary.
Well, you're obviously very busy. Living in Las Vegas, can you live a normal life in Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah. You just don't even go near the casinos.
Oh, that's the secret, huh? Nice to have you here with us, Susie. Now, you both cut your cards before we went on the air?
Yes, we did.
And we'll start the best 2 games out of 3. And we start with a question to the champion. Deanna, we asked 100 bachelors, do you like it when the girl you're with turns other men's heads? How many bachelors like it when the girl they're with turns other men's heads?
Oh, I think that's very flattering for anyone, even a married man. So I think that's going to be a high number. I'm going to say 65.
65 out of 100 say, yeah, they like that. Higher or lower, Susie?
I think it's definitely going to be higher because I know my husband likes it when sometimes. Of course, right now they don't look too much, but they used to.
So you say higher. Well, if it is higher, you'll play your cards. If not, Deanna plays hers. The actual number of bachelors who like it when the girl they're with turns other men's heads is 82. Susie, it is higher. So the challenger starts off the match. Susie has a queen.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I can go lower.
Lower than the queen. Yes, a 6.
Oh, freeze.
We move over the freeze bar. Susie, being a little conservative, takes the 1-card advantage. That, of course, keeps Deanna away from her cards. Susie, we asked 100 5th-grade kids, have you ever thrown away a note your teacher had sent home with you to your mom?
Oh.
How many 5th graders admitted, yeah, they've thrown away a note their teacher sent home to mom?
Oh, that has to be high. They wouldn't figure that the moms would ever find out the teachers did that. So I'm going to say about 70.
70 out of 100 have thrown away a note sent home to mom.
I have a son who will be in 5th grade next year. His name is Andrew. And if he ever did that, I am going to say it's just a little bit lower than
Lower.
that. Just a little
He
lower.
might not make 6th grade, huh, Deanna?
Right.
The actual number of 5th graders who've thrown away a note their teacher sent home to mom is 19. It is very much lower. They were probably all afraid of the same thing. So Deanna, the champion, has a 5.
I'd like to change that, please, Jim.
You win the question. You have the right to change the base card. A king.
All right, lower.
Lower than the king. A jack.
Lower.
Risking it lower. Yes, with a 9.
I'll freeze, Jim.
And now Deanna's ahead by 1 card. Question 3 goes to the champion. Deanna, we found 100 men who describe themselves as male chauvinists. And we asked them, oh, listen to this. Are there certain things you don't talk about with women because you know they just won't understand? How many male chauvinists said there are certain subjects that women just don't understand?
I have had a lot of friends that were male chauvinists, and they think that, unfortunately, they don't realize that women are very intelligent. So I'm going to say that's going to be about 65.
65 out of 100 say there are some things women don't understand.
Well, that's the pits, the first thing, because we can understand just about anything except for a car. Me anyway. I'm going to say that's a little bit lower.
A little bit lower, though. Not as many as 65. The actual number of male chauvinists who said there are certain subjects women just don't understand is 72. Not lower. It's even higher than that. 72. Deanna with a 9.
Change that card, please, Jim.
Getting rid of the 9. Can she improve it? Oh, yeah, with a king.
Right, lower.
Lower than a king, a 10.
Lower.
She's got to risk it. If this is lower, Deanna has the first game of the match for the win. Yes! Deanna wins it. So it is game 1 to the champion with $100, and the challenger will try to make a comeback right after this. So the champion is game number 1. Janice is dealing out the same 2 decks of cards with the next cards off the top of the deck. And we start game 2 with a question to you, Susie. Susie, we asked 100 married men. If an eccentric Susie's pregnant. This question comes up for her. Well, we asked 100 married men. If an eccentric millionaire offered you $1 million if your wife would bear his child, and she agreed, would you be willing to have her do it? How many men would let their wife bear another man's child for $1 million?
There's a lot of things you're going to do for money, but having a kid it sure isn't one of them, I don't think. I think it's going to be pretty low. I'm going to say 10.
10. Higher or lower, Deanna?
Money isn't everything. There are a lot more things that are important than money. I'm going to go with the odds, though, and say just a little higher.
A little higher.
Just a little.
Think there's enough greedy people out there.
Just a few.
The actual number of men who would let their wife bear another man's child is 32. It's higher. Well, of course, as I was thinking of it, it's easier for the men to say than for women.
Right.
Deanna, you've got a 3.
Oh, good card, Jim. Higher.
Higher than the 3. A jack.
Lower.
Risking it lower. It is a 6.
I'll freeze.
And just like that, the champion needs just 2 cards for another crack at the money cards. Come on, Susie. Deanna, the question to you. Deanna, we asked 100 people. If Richard Nixon ran for president against Jimmy Carter, would you vote for Nixon? How many people said yes, they would vote for Nixon?
I don't think very many people like Richard Nixon. I don't think very many people like Jimmy Carter. That's hard. But I think at this point, they would stay with Jimmy Carter. So it's going to be...
How many would vote for Nixon?
How many would vote for Nixon? 45.
45 out of 100 would vote for Nixon over Carter.
Nixon's been proven that he's a little dishonest, because I don't know about Carter, but I know Nixon's been proven a little dishonest, so I'm going to say a little bit lower.
Lower. The actual number of people who would vote for Richard Nixon is 37. Lower. Yes, Susie. But 37. Susie, you've got a 2.
That's beautiful. Higher.
Higher than the 2. A 6.
Higher.
He's going to risk it higher. Yes.
Lower.
Risking it lower. A 6 again.
Freeze.
Susie's not going to push it any further. 1 card, and Susie can tie up the match. Susie, this question to you. Susie, we asked 100 people who ride the New York subways. Have you ever been mugged on the subway?
Oh, my goodness.
How many people have been mugged on the subway?
I know they say it's really common, but I don't think it's going to be all that common, you know, especially with just the 100 people you picked. So I'm going to say maybe 15.
15 out of 100 have been mugged.
New York is a bad place. You always are reading in the paper where people are being mugged or killed or something. I think it's higher than that.
Even higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of people who've been mugged on the New York subway is 12. It is higher. Susie.
Change it.
You want to get rid of the 6?
Please.
That's the question, and we don't want to upset her, so I'll change it. The 6 becomes...
Lower.
This is lower. We have a tie match for the win. Susie ties it up. Well, Susie wins game 2. Don't bounce, Susie. Don't bounce.
The whole stage is going to fall down.
We are tied at 1-1, and now with the tiebreaker, just 3 cards up there, 3 questions here, and good luck to both of you as we start the tiebreaker with a question to Deanna. Deanna, we asked 100 teachers of high school sex education in classes. Who spends more time thinking about sex, boys or girls? How many sex educators said boys think more about sex?
I think they both think a lot about sex, but I would say about 46 say that boys think more about
46
sex than girls.
boys think more about sex than girls, Susie.
The role of boys, you know, as far as being the macho, the aggressor, has been, you know, so played upon. I think it's going to be higher. I think they're going to be more under pressure.
You say higher.
Yeah.
The actual number of sex educators who said boys think more about sex is 80. Very much higher. Susie.
Oh, my goodness
And the
gracious.
challenger starts the tiebreaker with a 5.
Change it.
It's a big change with just 3 cards up here. 9.
Lower.
Going with the odds lower. No, a 10 is not lower. And for the first time, someone gets a free chance at a card. Deanna with a queen.
Lower!
Lower than a queen, a 3. If it's higher, Deanna wins the championship. She does! Well, just that one tough call. Susie, don't go away yet. Oh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very
Good luck
much.
with the new baby.
Thank you.
Susie Bohannon. Thank you, Susie. Deanna, come on down here. And our champion does it again. And now $200 richer for the game. Deanna Barkman will go for the big money right after this commercial break. Congratulations. That was your first one. Back with our champion, Deanna Barkman. You cut the money card.
I certainly did, Jim.
Let's get to them then. Come on, let's get up there right now. And now Autumn and Janice will start dealing out the cards as we give you $200 of new money on the bottom line. 3 cards to bet as you will. When you move up to the second level, we add another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Minimum bet's $50. Till you get to the top card, the big bet, there you must risk at least half the money.
Okay.
Good luck, Deanna.
Thank you, Jim.
Here's $200. And remember, too, that you can change that base card on each of the 3 levels. With $200, you'll start with a 6.
Change that, please, Jim.
And you've got to play this when the next card off the top of the deck. Oh, an ace! Great
All
card.
right. All of it lower.
$200, the whole thing, that this card is lower than an ace. It is!
All right.
Up the middle.
$50 lower.
$50 lower than an 8. Yes! Right again, and a great card.
$350 higher.
$350 higher than a 3. Yes, with a 4. Ooh. A lot of diamonds there, but they added up to $800. And as we move up to 4, we'll give you the other $200. You have $1,000.
Okay. $500 higher.
Playing the 4 in this level, 500 higher. Oh, no. That's a lot of low cards.
Oh.
You're still in it, though. You held back. You've got 503 cards to go. It'll add up.
$300 higher.
Come on. We haven't seen a face card. $300 higher. Okay, that's high enough. 800.
$50 lower.
$50 lower than a 9. Yes, right again. Moving up that middle card, you don't have to play it.
Please change that, Jim.
Come on, let's see one of those big cards right now. $850, the big bet. A king.
All of it lower.
Double or nothing. Betting $850 lower. Yes! $1,700. Good job, Deanna. You just had that one false start. $1,700, $200 in the game. That's $1,900. That's not bad. And for 2 games of Card Sharks, Deanna Barkman up to $4,100. This fine champion meets a new challenger right after this commercial break. There you go. Just that double 4, Hershey. And Janice is dealing out 2 brand new decks of cards. Time to meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Sam Lee. Hello, Sam.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Won't you tell us something about yourself, sir?
Yes, I'm Sam Lee. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, married with 3 children, Mary Catherine, David, and Melissa. I've been a pastor for 18 years. I'm going into hospital chaplaincy and counseling in the very near future, and also on the side, real estate and insurance, just, to have a few things to play with.
A little on the secular nature,
That's
right?
That's right, Jim. I love sports, all different kinds, boating, skiing, fishing. Also, we love to travel, and we're out here in California on vacation, having a great time, enjoying ourselves immensely.
Well, that's nice, and I'm glad someone coming out on a vacation came down and joined us. Happy to have you here, Sam.
Thank you.
And you cut your cards.
Yes.
Then here we go. Best 2 out of 3 starts with a question to the champion. Deanna, we asked 100 bachelors. Have you ever told a girl you'd respect her even more in the morning? How many bachelors have told a girl they'd respect her even more in the morning?
I think that's a good line. In fact, I've heard that line myself before I was married. So that's a good line, and it's going to be a high number.
Oh.
And I didn't mean I did anything. I just said I've heard the line.
Okay. But you will note that she did say it was a good line. Okay.
Okay.
How many bachelors have told a girl they'd respect her even more in the morning?
That's going to be a high number, Jim, especially in this day and age. So that's going to be about 75.
75 out of 100. Sam, you do some counseling. What do you think?
Jim, I think we're living in a liberal age in which that just might be the case, that high number, but I don't believe it's quite that high. I believe it's just a little bit lower than that.
You say lower. Well, the actual number of bachelors who've told a girl they'd respect her even more in the morning is 25. Very much lower. Sam has it.
Fantastic, fantastic, great.
You know, that line never occurred to me when I was single, Janice. Sam starts the match with a 5.
Let's go higher, Jim.
He's going to play the 5. Higher? Yes, a 7.
Fantastic. Let's freeze it there.
Taking the 1-card advantage, we move over to the freeze bar, and we can't take those cards away. Sam, here's your first question. Sam, we found 100 Russian immigrants. These are all people who have recently left the Soviet Union to move to the United States. And we asked them, while you were living in the Soviet Union, did you ever buy anything on the black market? How many Russian immigrants said yes, they did buy something on the black market?
Jim, I tell you, I don't know much about what would be happening to them in Russia, knowing some things about the country and its somewhat limited lifestyle in many respects. I would think probably that number would be somewhere around 45.
45 out of 100 have bought something on the black market, Deanna.
We lived overseas at one time, and black market is very big overseas. So I think it's going to be just a little bit higher than that.
Higher than that. And a lot of agreement from the audience. If you've made your decision at home, we'll find out. The actual number of Russian immigrants who've bought something on the black market is 94. Very much higher. Well, it is indeed a way of life. Deanna starts off with a 6.
I'd like to change that, please.
Changing the 6 to a jack.
Okay, better. Lower.
Lower than the jack. No, king is not lower. A break for you, Sam. You've got a 7 to call this one.
Okay, let's go higher, Jim. Higher, higher.
No.
Oh, no.
3 is not higher. Neither player could take advantage of it. Janice will fill in the spaces, and question 3 goes to you, Deanna. Deanna, we asked 100 bartenders. When men tell you their problems, are they usually about money or about women? How many bartenders said men usually tell them about their woman problems?
I think men do. If they're going to talk to a bartender, they're going to talk about their women problems. So that's going to be about 60.
60 out of 100 talk about woman problems rather than money problems.
Well, I would say that chances are that more than likely that is not going to be quite that high, because even though there are many, many problems they have, I just don't believe that that would be the primary subject with the bartender. So I'm going to say a little bit lower than that.
You say lower. The actual number of bartenders who said men usually tell them about their woman problems is 47. Sam is right. It is lower.
Yay, yay.
Sam with a 7.
Let's change that card.
Getting rid of the 7, it becomes an 8.
Oh, my. Okay, let's go higher, higher, Jim, higher.
Says higher? No. 6 is not higher. Deanna with a break and a jack to call this one.
Lower.
Lower than the jack. No, again a king. And now as we fill in the spaces, we are at sudden death, and we'll quickly get to it. Sam, the question to you. Sam, we asked 100 senior citizen men who are retired. When you retired, did your company give you a gold watch? How many men were given the proverbial gold watch when they retired?
Usually today they don't give those kind of things because they have pretty good retirement plans. And so I would say that that number is around 30.
30. Higher or lower, Deanna?
I think that's higher. I think
Higher.
they still give that.
The actual number of senior citizen men who were given a gold watch when they retired is 8. It is not higher.
Yay,
Sam, you get control in
way to
sudden
go.
death.
Yay, great.
It's sudden death. Sam,
Terrific.
you've got an 8. You need 3 cards. Deanna with a jack needs 4. Do you want to play it or pass it?
Let's pass it. Pass it.
Deanna, if you can get them all, you win. But if you make one mistake, the game belongs to Sam. With a jack, what is this?
Lower, Jim.
Lower than a jack. This time it is with a
Higher.
3. Higher than the 3. An 8.
Higher.
Higher again. No, a 2 is not higher. And the challenger wins the first game of the match in sudden death.
Way to go. Hey,
These nice people right after this commercial break. Well, that's about all the time we have for now. Game 1 to the challenger. The champion's got to make a comeback. Can she do it? We'll find out on our next Card Sharks. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.
A representative of our studio audience will receive a Helbro sports watch for beauty and accuracy. For her or for him, the watch with a classic look furnished by Helbros. And some of our contestants will receive a gift certificate from Ben Franklin stores. We carry national brands at prices you like. Discover Ben Franklin, we bring variety to life. And a serving tray and light lunch, hot delicious noodles and rich thick sauces with about half the calories of a cheeseburger light lunch from Lipton. And a pen and pencil set and Scrunch scrubber sponges. They're made tougher than steel pads, yet scour without scratching. Use one in the kitchen, one in the bath. And a fluorescent mirror and Final Net, the non-aerosol hairspray that's concentrated to hold up longer than you do. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Shark, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.